Hi everyone, this is our next training course for MYOB. We're going to be looking at tutorial 13 today, which is all about setting up inventory stock control. Thought I'd just give a quick outline first of all as to the purpose and function of inventory. It typically applies to organizations that manufacture products, for example, or retail companies that stock items that they sell to their customers. So essentially what they want to do is they want to keep a track of exactly what items they have in stock. So let's just say, for example, we're a tiling business. We sell different types of tiles to our customers. If we have inventory systems set up and a customer calls requesting or wanting to purchase a certain type of tile, we can go into the system and check if we have that stock in stock or have that tile in stock. The system can also tell us if, for example, we're running low in a certain item. It can tell us to obviously purchase more items. So essentially how it all works is when you sell a certain item or a certain inventory item, this will update the system and it will know, therefore, it has got X amount of stock remaining. And when we purchase additional items for that particular item number, it will increase the stock count for that particular item as well. So that's all about inventory, a bit of a quick outline. First things first, we'll go into our MYOB account. And what I'm going to do in this exercise, I'm going to enter in 2 items for you. And then I'll ask you to continue and enter in the remaining items. And then I'll point you into the direction of where you can go to check your report, rather than have you watch me put every single item in one by one. The same thing applies, obviously, after I do the first one to the remaining items. So first things first, for the system to load. So if you have a look on the first page covers the steps on how to create a new item. And the second page contains the different items that we currently have in stock that we need to enter in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the first item, Inc. 100, and go through the steps. And you can see how that applies. What I'm going to do is, before I start entering in the first item, Inc. 100, there's a few new accounts that I may need to create. So I'm actually going to create those accounts first. So if I go to accounts list, and I, for example, go into purchases account, 5-1500 is our purchases Inc. account, which we already have, so that's fine. 5-1100 is our paper purchases account, which we don't have, so I'm going to create a new one. I'm going to go to new 1100, and I'm going to change this to the paper purchase account. And this is GST. So I'm going to select that GST account over here. Then we've got income account 4-3500, which is for printing services, which we don't have, which I'm going to create. So new 3500 printing services. And GST. And then we've also got paper purchases, 2100, which we don't have, so I'm going to create a new one for that. 2100 paper income account. And now I'm just going to double check we've got our GST inventory asset account. So I'm going to look here. It's 1320 Is it? Okay, so that's all good. I've set up our accounts. So we go to inventory first of all over here. Then we go to items list. And then we click on new. Now this item, all the items essentially on the first page. We buy, we sell, and we inventory, meaning we purchase these items, we sell them to their customers, and we keep them in stock in the warehouse as inventory as well. So we do all three. So that's going to become important soon. So item number for the first one is Ink 100, and the name is Black Knight. I'm hitting tab. And now we buy, sell, and inventory. So I'm going to put a tick next to all three accounts. And then I'm going to go over to here, cost of sale account. For this first one, which is Black Knight, which is the ink product, it's going to come under ink purchases. The income account is printing services, so 4-3500 printing services. And the inventory account is always the same inventory account, which is 1-1320 inventory account. Nothing has to be done here. You'll see how these figures adjust once we start using the item. So nothing needs to be done here. We go to buying details over here, and the standard cost. So when we purchased these items, remembering these items are already in stock, the standard cost back then was $5. And the buying unit measure, which is also listed there, is number 1. And the tax code when we bought was GST. As I was mentioning earlier, if we wanted the system to tell us when we've got a minimal number of items on hand and we need to purchase more, we can put that in here. It's not required, but I thought I'd just quickly show you that. So this is the buying side when we buy the items. The selling side, when we sell to our customers, we put in the selling price. So here it's $6, and the selling unit of measure is 1 as well. Now, the unit of measures are important because sometimes items you purchase in bulk. So you may, for example, buy a box of 10 items. So the buying unit of measure and the selling unit of measure is hence required in that scenario, because you may buy in boxes of 10 and you may sell the items individually. So, for example, in that scenario, your buying unit of measure will be 1 box, which may contain 10 items, right? So in that scenario, you may have one in a different purchase price, but the selling unit may be individually. So this is where this becomes important. But I've kept it nice and simple in this exercise. Tax code when GST, so when sold, is GST, and it's including GST. All right, so it's $6 including GST. You don't have to worry about history or auto build. Leave those as they are, and we click on OK. So that's the first item. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the last item. Okay, so I'm going to do the last one only because the rest of the items that you're going to enter in are buy, sell, and inventory. The last 3 items that you can see on the other page, page 3, Ink 500, Fluid 1, and Oils 1, those 3 items we buy and we inventory. We don't sell to our customers. So I'm going to just enter one of these in so that you know what needs to be done there. So we go to New again, and I'm going to put in Ink 500. Ink 500. The name is Ink Special. And we buy and we inventory. We don't sell, hence we don't put a tick here. Now what you need to take note of here is the buying, I buy this item, is that account, which is incorrect. It needs to be an expense account. Because we're using this item ourselves and not selling it to our customer, it needs to be an expense because it's being utilized by our business. And we need to create a new account because we don't have 62050. So I'm just going to shortcut that and go to new here. And the number is 2050 and the name is Store Supplies. And it's GST. And I go back over here and I look for that particular account that I just created. So it's 6-2050, I think it was. Yep. Now, leave this blank. Don't tick that because we're not selling it. We click on inventory. Now, notice how this disappears. That's so that you can't go into it and make any changes. So that's fine. That's what should happen. Item details, we don't have to worry about. Buying details, when we purchase this item, we're purchasing it for $7.50. Oops, $7.50. Unit of measure is 1, that's all good. GST is all good, that's all fine. And there's no selling details, obviously, because we don't sell to our customer. So that concludes that item. Okay, so what you need to do now is essentially go through and enter in the remaining items. Now, once you've done that, once you've entered all the items in, okay, step 2 is to put the opening balances in. Okay, now I suggest that you first put all the items in first before you start step 2. So if you want to just pause the video now and put in the rest of the items in, and once you've done that, hit play again on your video, and then I'll show you step 2. So step 2, we go to count inventory. So we're back over to here, our main screen. We go to count inventory over here, and we click on adjust inventory. Okay, so that didn't work. Let's try again. Okay, all right. Before we do that, where it says counted, so how this works is we've gone to the warehouse and we've checked how many items we have currently in stock. Okay, so once we've done that, if we go to, for example, Black Knight, okay, you have a look that we've got 20 units in stock for Black Knight. So we type in 20 units over here, and then Ink Special, we've got 25 items in stock, so we type in 25 here. After you've done that, then you hit adjust inventory. And we want to adjust that inventory account, which is this one here. Then we hit continue. We want to put in an opening balance, so we hit opening balances. We want to adjust the balances. Now, what we want to put here is how much these items costed when we did purchase them. Now, according to that information over here, Ink 100 costed us $5 when we first purchased it. So that means 20 times 5, we've got 100. We've got 100 in stock. And Ink 500 costed $7.50. So we type this amount in again. Right, so that gives you the total. Now, you probably realize that we had initially entered in those standard cost values in the first step when we're setting up their items. The reason why we did that in that step is that if we wanted to purchase additional items later on, we've recorded how much it costs to purchase. Here in this step, we're actually putting in the value that we have of each of those items. So for example, 25 items at this amount gives us $187.50. So I've only got 2. You'll have no doubt more items, the remaining items that you've entered in. Then you'll hit record once you've entered them all in. Once you've done that, okay, you'll need to check your report to make sure it's accurate. So you'll go to reports over here, and you go to inventory. And you'll go to your first items list summary inventory report and hit display. Now what you should see is a total inventory asset value of $2,055. Now I'm only going to have 2, so I'm only going to have 187. That's fine. You should see 2055. So enter all that in, and what I'll do is once I've